This is 5 minutes of political common sense for America. I'm Brian Boeheim, the political engineer. And in today's segment, I want to talk about the Pledge of Allegiance. Recently, I saw a video clip from 1969 of Red Skelton telling what the Pledge of Allegiance meant to one of his school teachers, and it moved me to look at my own definition of it. In my opinion, our society has forgotten the meaning of such words as liberty and allegiance, and that things like the pledge should be taken more seriously if we're going to find more common ground on issues that divide us. Here's my cut at what the Pledge of Allegiance means to me. I pledge allegiance. That means I'm speaking for myself and no one else. That I wasn't coerced or commanded, but instead give of myself willingly. I'm making a promise, in other words, putting my integrity and honor on the line by entering into a contract. Not with the leaders of this country, but with my fellow Americans, to stand shoulder to shoulder against invaders, terrorists, and tyrannical leaders, whether they be internal or external. To the flag of the United States of America. The flag represents the agreed-upon ideals of freedom, the freedom to speak, to pray, to meet, and to improve one's economic status without limitations of a figurative or literal class structure. And the republic for which it stands. My commitment is to the Republic of States, not to a singular federal entity. The federal government only exists to provide framework for the voices of the state and local representation, and should be neutral on all issues that are not constitutionally defined. One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Americans stand together, creating a resolute force to prevent anyone from impairing our individualism, our freedom, or our ideal that all citizens should be provided equal opportunity and treatment. That is what I believe the Pledge of Allegiance is. That's what it means to me, and I think that's what we should teach our children. We should teach our children about the meaning and not just to make them say the words. Now, you may have noticed that I didn't include the words under God. This was not in any way meant to insult or question the divine intervention needed to start and guide this country. Instead, my challenge comes from the fact that these words were not in the original pledge and were added in a political maneuver in 1954, which is contrary to the whole idea of the pledge. The words are also exclusionary and not inclusionary, and I want no citizen to have a moment's hesitation in pledging to stand by their fellow American. It is my belief that if we start to understand the words of the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the National Anthem, and the Pledge of Allegiance, we might just find that we can stand on more common ground, and then we can focus on optimizing the government to work on our behalf instead of the other way around. You've been listening to 5 minutes of Political Common Sense for America. I'm Brian Boeheim, the political engineer. And if you like what you've heard here, then go out and pick up a copy of my book, Political Common Sense for America. You can find it at Amazon.com. Until next time, be safe out there.